I want you to imagine for a second what a lazy person looks like. Sits all day at the computer, watches Netflix, eating junk food. Well, that person's me. Or at least me a month ago before I started this new habit. Now, I want to preface this by saying I'm not disciplined. I'm a very lazy guy, and I like to take the easy shortcuts to make my own life easier, right? Probably like you. But I would spend hours and hours on end at my computer, just sitting there getting absolutely no work done, watching Netflix all day, eating chips at my desk like some sort of slob. If you were to see me then, you would not have imagined that I'd be out here in this 20-degree weather just walking on a beach. But I am now, and I'm gonna tell you why I did it and how it's working out for me now. The reason I'm making this video though is to show you that you don't need to live in a constant state of brain fog and fatigue, cooped up inside all day. There's a solution to some of your problems, and I'm about to show it to you. So for about the last month, I've been building up the habit of going outside every day that I can and going for about a 30 to 45 minute walk through my local park. And I'd have to say, if you told me like 2 months ago that going for a walk while it was freezing cold was gonna help me with my mental health, I would have known you were lying. But I have to be honest with you, this is probably one of the better habits I've ever built for myself. Everyone who lives in New York knows what I'm talking about when I say the weather for the past month has been crazy. You'll have some sub-zero days where it's freezing cold and snow on the ground. Next day it's 50 degrees. And all throughout this month, I've just been stepping outside, walking for about 30 to 45 minutes whenever I can. And I have to admit, some of these days have been very, very difficult to walk outside. There have been some days where the snow was this thick and I was walking through a field. It took me half an hour to get through it. But every walk after that, I felt so satisfied that I went on the toughest day. Because now a day like this, where it's 25 degrees outside, feels like nothing to me. And that's kind of how it is when you build a habit like this. It's really important to go on the hardest days when you really don't want to. So you can build your discipline and really get after it when it really matters the most. Walking outside probably sounds easy to you. Too easy. Pointless, right? That's kind of the way I felt before I went on my first walk for the sake of walking. I'm not walking to burn calories, I'm not walking to track steps, and I'm not walking so I can get fit or anything. I'm walking for the sake of just being outside. Because there's something special, something very human about just being outside next to nature and stuff, being next to trees. It makes you become a little more mindful of your surroundings. You sit at your desk all day, sit on your computer, you kind of just feel like a robot doing tasks, but being out here, it just feels kind of different, you know? So you're probably wondering, you walked outside for a month, now what? Did it actually help you? What did you gain? Well, I gained a lot better mental health. I'd have to say that the brain fog, the brain fatigue that I used to have about a month ago, and I'm not exaggerating, it's probably gone down about 60%. Just for taking a little time out of my day to walk outside and just breathe in fresh air outside of my local park, it's probably improved my mental health to a serious degree. On top of that, the fatigue that I would feel around the early afternoon has really decreased. Probably I'd say 30%. And in addition to those two benefits, I've kept my diet and exercise around the same for this entire past month and a half. I'd have to say I lost about 4.5 pounds while still staying lean and muscular. That was probably just due to the extra calories I was burning by going outside. But I have to say overall, I just feel a hell of a lot better than I did before. And this is only taking about 30 to 45 minutes out of my day. I'm not going crazy, I'm not going on marathons, I'm not jogging, I'm just walking. You can do it too. And I'm gonna show you the exact steps that you can take to get started on it. It's a good chance that you're probably into developing your self-improvement. Now, I want to let you know that before you start all the crazy stuff, like starting a business, doing a body transformation, anything like that, do something like this first that's going to improve your mentals. Because if your mental health is bad and you're trying to do all this other crazy stuff, it's not going to work out. It's all just going to come crumbling down because your mind can't keep up with all the ambitions that you're trying to set up for yourself. Make it your goal to improve your mental health first and foremost when you're starting self-improvement. It's probably one of, if not the most important thing you can do. More than any workout, more than any sort of business, you need to improve your mental health. And something as simple as walking outside every day can do that for you. All right, so we're back a few days later. It's a little snow on the ground, but that's light work at this point. There are some really easy steps that you can do to actually getting into this habit and make it stick. And step one would be do the same routine every single day. You want to be able to get into a routine that you can follow. I wouldn't tell you to do 50 push-ups before you go on a walk every day. That doesn't make sense. Just like it's fit. Anyways, so every single day you want to be following the same exact routine. You can put on the same hoodie, you can put on the same shoes, doesn't matter. Find some shoes that you don't mind beating up if you're going to be walking in a public park like this, and find some jackets or hoodies that you don't mind getting dirty. Because at the end of the day, you're just walking every single day. This is part of your life now, right? That's step one, routine, routine, routine. Same shoes, same jacket, same hoodie, every single day without fail. And you want to do this around the same time every day. So for example, around 11 a.m., I don't really have much to do on most days because I usually have like work or classes at a different time. So 11 a.m., I'm usually getting myself ready to step out. And once I actually put on the shoes, once I put on the hoodie, I don't have an excuse to not go out because I already did the thing to start the routine. It's a super easy way to get yourself into doing harder habits. You do a small, easy habit that makes you feel compelled to do the actual larger, hard one. All right, so the next step you're gonna wanna follow, step two, you wanna go to a familiar place, a place that you know pretty well. Obviously, I'm not gonna ask you to walk through some random neighborhood that you don't know, right? That would make no sense. You wanna be going through a place that you're familiar with. I've been going to this park for a few years. I'm very familiar with the area. But even if you're familiar with the place that you're going, don't let that stop you from exploring a little bit. It'll stay interesting every single day if you explore a little bit more that you didn't know about. And who knows, maybe you'll stumble across something you've never seen before and it'll be worth it. All right, so step number three, go every single day without fail. There are no excuses why you can't go outside for 15 minutes and walk. Think of an excuse right now. Whatever excuse you just came up with is trash. I don't really care. Because to be honest, everybody has 30 minutes out of their day, 15 minutes out of their day to walk outside. And you're just doing yourself a disservice by not enjoying nature that's around you. You don't know how long this is going to be around, so enjoy it while you can. Don't worry if you miss a day out of the month or anything. You'd be surprised by how many days I've missed myself. Just this week, I've probably missed 3 or 4 days, but I'm not going to let that stop me from coming back tomorrow, the day after that, and the day after that. Because if you start thinking of this mindset like, oh, yesterday I didn't go, so I have to make up for that. No, tomorrow is the next day, and you're going to go tomorrow. You're going to get it done. If you don't, you're going to get your walk done the next day. If you don't, get your walk done for the next day. All right? This is a daily habit. You get it done every single day. Not every day you can, every day. All right, so step number 4, go on the hardest days. If you go on the hardest days possible when it's really difficult to step outside, there's snow on the ground right now, right? I'm not letting that stop me from going outside. But if you're an idiot, don't make it harder than it has to be. If you're wearing shorts in the snow, you're making things way too difficult for yourself.
I hurt myself.
So keep in mind, dress for the occasion. I kind of made a mistake by wearing sneakers out here, but if I already went on the days where it was -5 degrees outside, I don't really care about days like this. This is easy work for me. All right, the 5th and final and most important step of this entire production, this entire video, is to start. Start right now. If you can't start now, start when you wake up tomorrow morning. I'm not talking about tomorrow night. I'm not talking about next week. I'm not talking about after your finals. I'm not talking about after your exams. I'm talking about start now, ASAP. The more you procrastinate starting something as important as improving your mental health, the worse it's gonna get. Believe me when I tell you, I didn't even start this YouTube channel until 6 months after I planned because I was procrastinating for months and months on end. My final message to you guys is it's important to start. Starting now will get rid of that procrastination. As soon as you get started with something that you love doing, it's gonna pay off a lot in the long term.